side. Map 2 will be India. And if a third and final map will be needed, we will go to Hammerby. So what is your favorite map, Rob?
My favorite is dual site.
Just because we're playing it now?
Yes.
I bet you forgot the other maps.
No, I know the maps. I know the maps.
Can you name all 6 demo maps that are currently in the game?
Oh, there are 6?
Defend our air defense
Yes.
facility and eliminate all EU forces.
No, that's a big
There's Hammer Blow,
Yeah.
Aslan, Airplane, Dual Site,
Go, go, go!
India,
You're missing one.
and yeah, the
Starts
the
with
snow.
a B. It's a snow. You want to see some trades already being made in the shower, as it's even up to 3v3. The map was black side, by the way. Joel's fighting with Cheats, so he shuts him down. So now Konzi finds himself in a 1v3. Shuts one down. There's one more on top. And God's gonna get it. So see, that's how ESL games go up. 33 seconds. You ever see that in pub?
Why is this so quick? Let's slow it down. So, I did ask you before, but what's your personal thought on who's gonna win this matchup?
Well, I picked this matchup specifically because the teams are quite close and even to each other. I think because the Villains team does have Drone, Hench. If he's going to call the shots, I think they're going to have the slight upper hand because of that. They are indeed now leading the match now 1-0, although that doesn't say too much. But I think they will close it out in map 3 because of that. What about you?
I honestly don't know the teams from previous AVA, but no, I hope it'll be a fun matchup, back and forth.
In the meantime, they do a good job at holding down the 2 side as King Tuiki shuts down 2. And Azaias has to rotate, although he's very low already. Drone has control of the bridge, so map control is there as well for Villains. The jump. Oh, Drone spots jump! And that's puts Azaias in a 1v3, very low HP. But see a lot of people using the AK-107 as well now. It's an interesting pick, to be fair. Oh! Azaias missed them. And Drone gets a final kill. That's 2 already. This time not as fast, Rob.
So who's a player that we should keep an eye on?
For this matchup, I think it's good to keep an eye. Well, Tump is a little bit of a ninja. I think Drone is a good player to keep an eye on, and Maid, if he's scoping well, he can definitely go huge. But so far, King Tweaky has also been doing very, very well. Look at that, he's got a second kill onto Jeets. And the mid push has completely been crumbled by King Tweaky and Drone.
What I like about this current matchup is that people are using different types of... Although I'm not seeing too many point men at this time.
No,
Is there a reason for that, you think?
most players have like their specific class. So as you always see him with a rifle, Cheese mostly with a scope, Tate mostly with a rifle, Konzi mostly with a rifle. Dump is a player that sometimes can switch to pointman. The other team, I don't really see a specific pointman player on there. So I think it's mostly because of that. Because usually you do have 1 or 2 pointman players on the team. Yeah, indeed, as you mentioned, a lot of different rifles, so that shows some good prospects. We see the AK-47, we see the Para, we see the AK-107, we see the M16. Look at that boost spot from Maid. Look where he's at.
Oh, I saw that.
So this is a single-man boost, but I assume he went up via the blue container, then jumped on the side, and then got on top of the roof. I think that's how they got there. But you're the dev. Do you agree with such boost?
I didn't make that, but I don't know. It depends on how the players feel. I think giving variety is important, but I think there needs to be balance also.
Jeets is under the pressure here and he's watching the armory, but his eyes is giving him proper backup. So Mate can't do much more to that.
Fire in the hole!
Gonna throw a nade far into the base, but look at the setup that's currently happening. Afko and King Tweaky are pushing up from behind. King Tweaky only found one, but he didn't spot him. So Jeets gonna get him. And now Goth is alone. So now the interesting thing is they need to find out where Goth is playing at. And as you can see, how his eyes is jumping around, they do not know where he is. As soon as they find... Ooh, that was a nasty shot from Goth.
That was a nice shot.
So possible a 1v1. Tay knows that he is up, but Tay should also know that he's late, but he's going to rotate to 2-side. Oh, he's going for a contest. This is a very risky play from Tay. He could give the round away, although he does have the health advantage, and he's backing off. He's going to plant a 2-side. And he's going to run down now, most likely. Or he's going to wait. He's going to wait for a rotate. Yeah, Goth is just doing it clever. He's just waiting at top 1. He knows he can't do much here, and he's just going to wait for the bomb to be planted. And Tay is indeed going to plant it on 2. Sometimes it's easy to figure out what players are going to do, right, Rob?
Sure, yes.
So yeah, Goth is going to pick up the sniper. That's a very good call. That's pretty much the only chance that he has versus Tay. About 20 seconds remaining, and Tay should hear him come down. He's going for the straight. No, he shouldn't go for the straight. He does make it happen.
Operation success. Return to main base.
That's the first round for its man, but it looks like they're not having a very easy time, are they, Rob?
Go, go, go!
This is a fast-paced match than I expected.
Well, I'm not sure if you're like more commonly adjusted to CSGO games, but AVA, especially in competitive, it's usually fast-paced. At least for our versions. If you look at games from past games, from LAN tournaments, or the Korean teams, for example, play, or the Japanese players, they take their time, and at the last 30 seconds, they actually make that push happen. In the meantime, Tay has to watch out and doesn't get shot down by King Tweaky. He already opened up the 2. Look at that, 3 players are holding down the 4-2, and Goth is shutting them down from behind now, so this is good information. They know that they can't lose the round unless Goth tells them. Yeah, this is round. They're trapped.
So Goth is really good with this AK-107.
Well, the good thing that he had there, he had the higher ground, and he could zoom in where the player contesting him had an M16, so it was a lot more difficult for him. But now Kanzi is alone. He still has an M16.
Troops eliminated.
That worked. 2 kills for Afro and a 4-1 lead now for Villains. This is a little bit more one-sided than I was expecting. A little bit of disrespect there from God.
Charge!
Молодец!
They're going for a heavy mid. They did spot Kanzi out there. Goth has to walk away so he doesn't get naded out. Nade over the bridge is going to miss its target, but doesn't hit his teammate. Need to be waiting here. Gets the headshot immediately on Kanzi. That's a big one. He can't contest stay here, so he's already going back. But this is important. They're getting a lot of frags without them being traded out, and that really puts Villains the upper hand right now. If it goes the way it's been going already, they might find themselves struggling.
So looking at games like CSGO, for example, in the competitive scene, we see that there are different roles within the team. So there are like entry fraggers, and also powerhousing, support, and so on. So is there something like that also available in AVA? Okay.
Yeah, you also see that. I mean, if you saw what King Tweaky did, he was pushing up very far, and he was getting back up from Goth. So he was playing close. Goth was sort of like functioning as the bait, trying to lure the players to him. And when the players are distracted, King Tweaky's going to push out from the double doors and get that kill. And that's basically what happened. They saw where Goth was. Goth backed off, so they realized like, okay, he's probably going back to top 1. So they were focusing on top 1 as they walked up via the tank. but King Tweaky was still watching the tank from double doors, and he got the opening frag with that. So that's what you sometimes do see. And with snipers, usually the snipers are always entry fraggers, unless you have a double sniping setup. Some teams do like to run, and then you have a support
Get
sniper
ready
and,
for your
and an
offensive
entry
mission.
fragger. So it definitely does happen, but we haven't seen too much because the teams aren't really running appointments. But now we see appointment,
Charge!
well, still appointment come out from King Tweaky. So keep an eye on him, see what he does. See, he's going to walk up towards the armory, so he immediately gets the mid control. You see that Jeets is there. Jeets sees that nobody's there. He's the sniper. And he has to fall back because he can't give up that part of map control. But at this point, Villains have mid control, so they have already overcome a hurdle. They're now also going to move in. You see Goth is moving into the showers. So they've got shower control. And now the only support that the control that they're missing, that they need to go to now, is... that might cost them though, with King Tweaky getting shut down. But you see that Maid is now walking up towards the tank. He is going to try and secure around the 1 area. And as soon as they have top 1 control, they can have the player from bridge, that's AFCO, jump out. And then they have top 1 control, they can swarm around the 1 side, and then they've got it on lockdown. So that's basically what's happened at this point. But you see that they've left the bomb still at base, so they haven't really made a decision yet what they're going to do. And that's what you see a lot with these teams. They're just going off of picks, trying to find out where everyone is, get some frags done, and then figure out, okay, what is the easiest spot to push? And then they make a move. See, now Drone has picked up the C4, and he's going to make the call. He made the call that they're going to go over to 1. But you see Konzi is waiting here in the corner. And Maid is on the other side of the box. Maid gets 1 kill. Konzi now has to trade him. He's going to trade FCO instead. So now they know where he is. They're still missing 1 player. So they're not really pushing in yet. See, Goth has now gotten the top TV control. He's still looking around. Maid is fighting together with Drone, but he gets shot down by Kwanzi. So now they know where 2 players are. Now they spotted Tom too, so now they know where all the players are. They know everyone's located around 1. So Maid needs to get frags. Well, Goth is able to get a return to K. Ooh, Goth! Found 2. Last player is low. Look at that, Tump is hiding.
Troops eliminated.
That's
Oh, that was close.
Operation success.
See, Tum played that very well. Was hiding in the corner. If he was going to contest Goth in plain sight, Goth would have just pre-fired him out. So he just waits in the corner, takes his time, waits for him to walk into his aim. Unless he gets pre-fired out, there's not really a way that he's going to lose that. So he did that very well indeed. So Rob, who are you spectating? What do you see?
I am spectating FCO. Only because you haven't talked about him.
Well, he seems to be walking together in the showers with the King Tweaky. King Tweaky has actually picked up the
That
scope. So see,
doesn't
now we have a
sound
dual
right.
scope setup. So now, usually you don't see the snipers play together, but at this point they are. But one of them has to make the frag. You see, Maed is making a lot more meters. He's walking around much more. So he's going to be the entry fragger here, trying to take the side. And King Tweaky's most likely going to stick behind, because from his spot, you can actually see the ramp as well. So now Jeez comes down from the ramp. He's getting shot down. Now I've got side. And Tampa and Kwanzi have to read... Oh, King Tweaky nates our drone. Eee. Team nate. It's unfortunate.
Charge set.
It doesn't seem to matter too much. Tampa's still on a 1v3. He spots King Tweaky. Doesn't matter. 6-2.
Operation success. Return to main base.
Yikes, it's going
Your
pretty
efforts
quickly.
are commended.
Match point.
It is match point.
Go, man!
It's match point already after 8 rounds. We can have a maximum of 13. So it's not looking too good for its
So
man
where's
yet.
King Tweaky playing from? His ping seems to be a little...
You should be West Coast then. With 160, you should be West Coast. So we have 2 players playing from NA, it seems like. Ooh, both of the snipers now doing work. But interesting to see is that both snipers use a different scope as well. My chose for the AWM, and then the PSG was picked by King Tweaky, which personally seems like the better pick. It's a little bit faster if you don't quick switch. It's maybe a little bit harder to play around with, but compared to wallbangs, PSG is also better. And that's going to be around as well.
Operation success.
7-2
Return
win,
to the
and with
base.
Drone going 14.5 for 3. That's pretty dominating. Nobody on its MAM managed to get a positive score. That's quite brutal, Rob.
That was a quick match.
Yeah, sometimes the matches can go a little bit quick, but this is what you have with the tournament rule 7 wins. It's something that we always use, but sometimes matches can be over really, really quickly, especially if the teams are playing somewhat quicker. But we've had longer matches as well. I mean, for best of 3s, you won't really get games lasting longer than an hour or an hour and a half. Best of 5, not really longer than 2 hours either. But if you have different setups like we used before, you can have matches that take 4 hours, which is the longest match we've had recorded.
Now, there's a quick reminder also that remember we'll be doing some giveaways on the stream during the intermission. I am aiming to do them during the finals, the grand finals. During the grand finals, we can have the viewers guess the winning team per map, and we'll give out some. We'll just choose several winners randomly from the pile that have chosen correctly, and give them some Steam gift cards. So yeah, if you can just remind people during the grand finals, that'd be great.
That sounds good. Then we'll make sure to set that up as well. Do you want to do some sort of straw polls, or do you want to do like a Google form so we can also see the names of the players, Twitch names?
What do you think would be better?
I think I'd go for like a quick form so we can also see the player names. I think
Sure.
that's easier. But we're going to go in for map number 2. This is India. India is usually a map where it's the most standard map, I think you could say. That's the easiest way to call it. Didn't update the scores yet, but that's alright. So what's interesting for this one, you see usually, at least on defense, a lot of double scoping setups, but you see that Villains have chosen for a 2-appointment setup, so they're most likely going to push at 1. And Goth is playing with a FAMAS right now. That's also interesting. Another new rifle.
Charge!
We're seeing some change-ups here. We have appointments being.
Yeah, 2 appointments on your side as well. See, this is the type of faster pace that you see, because there's one control point that the teams really like to push, and there's the pillow room. That's the A point where Drone and Goth are currently located. Yeah, with AFCO, of course. You usually have like 2 or 3 players defending this side. I have 3 players defending it, so 3-1-1 is standard for defensive setup. You usually have a sniper playing in 2. Tay has been able to get a good spray down. Was I's getting the bomb down too? This is starting to look a lot better for them. So Maid finds the kill onto Jeets, but I don't think he will know that Konzi is still here. So Konzi is going to get that kill easily as the first round.
Operation success.
Going to its
Return
map.
to
Wait a
the
minute.
base. Your efforts are commended. Charge!
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of fights going around the pillar room, but it all depends on what is the opposing team going to do. See, Aziz is alone, so he's not going to push it, but if he gets backup from one of the players, they are going to counter push it. That's something that you see a lot more in pub games. ESL not so much, unless you have a team that's really dominating at it. For example, in the map of Black Sand, you see Crackheads doing that very well in the generator area. They always push it, whether they're on the EU or the NRF team. But sometimes teams like to do that, and in India, this is the spot to do it. Gets 2 kills, although he's flashed. He fights a little bit back. And we see a player coming from the van. In the meantime, defense has been shattered. He still has to go through Tam, but he gets one with the Uzi.
Enemy troops Target eliminated.
Ooh, that's some
Oh,
crisp aim
nice.
from
Operation
Tub.
success. Return to main base. Your efforts are commended.
That's more pointman guns as well. So we have Uzis, we have MP7.
Go, go, go!
Those seem to be the main guns being used, although the HK416C is not too bad either. Or what pointman is your favorite pick, Rob?
I think I'm using HK just because it's been added recently. So just testing it out.
Eyes is going for the pre-fire onto stairs. He's now going to fall back. So Drone and Goth are going to walk in there. Look at the spot that Azaias currently have. Pretty OP, isn't it? So he can see the players coming his way. The players can potentially see him, but it's very, very hard to kill him. So at this point, I think once Drone realizes that someone is defending here, they're going to rotate. Yeah, they already have two sides, so that makes it a little bit easier for them. They had to choose for the rotate there. But Drone is now still waiting there. Now he's going to walk in. He gets a kill from behind.
Troops
That's a second
eliminated.
too. See, this is very well played. He just waits till the rest of his team has baited the defenders out, knowing that's going to be a 2. And at that moment, he pushes in and gets the kills from behind. It's a pretty good tactic, isn't it?
Changing magazines.
I think Rob is just watching in awe at the moment. Like, wow, these teams are actually good.
Sure.
I already gave them a warning a little bit before. I told them that you're a little bit of a Kimpa fanboy.
It's just he's been so well known in the past.
I think he's one of the few players that you do know, right?
Yeah.
That's fine though. We see Maid opening up the map in mid. Now this is cool. We could. They're not going to do that, but what usually happens a lot is teams are going to crossfire down in mid and help each other out before they choose where they're going to go. But Jeez is having a good lockdown on 2 side because he shuts down the opposing team sniper. So now Villains has to readjust again. What are they going to do? They have mini control, so they have most of the map. So they can choose to use God and Tweaky to go around via the mid, or they're going to push defend, which seems like what they're going to be doing. So they're going to do control push.
It seems to me like in India, it's really vital to control mid area. Once you do control mid, there's so many areas or routes that you can use and you can go to, and you're essentially dividing the defending team into two different groups, right?
It can indeed be very important as you see God now in a 1v2. He got some shots into the smoke. Has been spotted, but gets a kill still on top. Jeets is low. And Jeets doesn't know that his opponent is low. Does he know? Oh no, he had no bullets! And Goth gets a 1v2. This is a huge round for Villains.
Your efforts are commended.
But to come back on the mid part, mid can be good to hold, but if you look at the map, you see a spot called E. From the point where King Tweaky just walked through, it's very easy to nade spot that point. So you see a lot of players are not playing there. So you see Kanzi playing a lot further back. He's playing with a rifle given his position, yeah. So he's going to make sure that nobody's going to be able to stab him. That's the only thing that you want the mid for. It's not that important. Where Jeets is playing at, this is much more important. You always have a sniper holding down the tunnel via garden, or just the side and watching anyone come into garden. You just get a lot of frags there so that players are not allowed to freely push into. That's a very important one because you can lose 2 easily that way. 1 is harder to defend, so you usually have around 3 players in there. So you just need to make sure that you trade each other out.
It's gonna be... Whoa. Nice shot.
The flash coming out. Jeets does miss a shot. The shot is getting tagged now, but Collins is giving the proper back. See, Afko's still alive, but at this point, too much damage has been dealt already. So it's not going to be an easy treat for Tom. See, Jeets did a lot of work here. He got 2 kills, but he made sure that Villains couldn't push in before backup arrived. So that was very important. It looks like Method versus Crackheads is already finished. 7-2, 7-2. So the winner of this game will face Crackheads in the semifinals.
Semi-finals. I'm looking forward to it.
On the bottom side, we don't really have any information what's happening, but look at that. Now Jeets was not able to get a kill. Drone shuts him down, also gets a follow-up kill. This should normally be around for them. Smahid is going to trade out Tum. Now it's a 4v2. Tay is coming in from behind. Good pre-fire, leaky, but the backup from Goth in a nice position. Mahid rounds off. Now it's a 3v3. So I think this map is going to end fairly even. Perhaps a 7-5 win for either the teams, but it looks a lot more even than the first map, doesn't it?
Charge!
I guess teams have stronger maps versus weaker maps, I guess.
You definitely do. I mean, India is one of those maps that nobody really is bad on just because it's such a classic map. And to be fair, competitively, if you're like a new team and you have to play against a very good team, India is probably your best pick to choose because it's a lot easier to play against. Because there's so many different setups, and if you want, you can just rush the other team down and get a few rounds with that. If you're going to play other maps such as Dual Side that we already had, and Hammer Blow later, a lot more tactic comes into play there. And against better teams, we're really going to fall down. I think that's what we saw. I mean, I said at the start of the game, if you have Drone on the team, that little bit of tactical advantage if he's going to call the shots. His team did win Dual Side 7-2, and now we have India, where tactics are not as important as the other maps, and we're currently at a 3-3 score. But they're very likely to win this game, and they already did.
Operation success. Return to main
Smahid
base.
is actually really good with the sniper.
Yeah, I think, well, there are not a lot of people playing from Turkey, at least competitively. I think I know of 2 players that are actually living in Turkey, at least, that play. So, he's probably your best Turkish player right here. He's always been very good with the scope.
Now, looking at the nades, I've been looking through the players to see what kind of utilities that they're carrying. There's a little bit of mix-up between the teams where I guess the defenders are usually carrying at least 1 smoke and a grenade that explodes faster, that has less travel time. Yeah. So I guess that's kind of like the go-to, I guess, because that's what I'm seeing a lot.
Well, the thing is, with your standard M67 grenade, those are good for nade spots. And India doesn't have that many nade spots. I mean, you have the nade spot onto Mini, which is very classic. But apart from that, there's nothing really that's going to put you out of the board. So the MK3A2 grenade is a lot better as a pick. But we have to watch out for action a little bit now, because look at that. Kwanzi's going to get the bomb down. But what is Jeets doing? And both players are coming behind. Jeets has a lot of map control, but nobody's really going there, so he needs to hurry up back in and give Kwanzi backup. He should throw a grenade right now at the door. Yeah, he gets shut down now by the sniper. Goth team just go in, but Jeets gets him through the smoke. That's an important one. Jeets and Mahid fighting each other. Mahid has to go for the kill. They spot each other. Oh! Ah, that miss from Jeets is big. Mahid doesn't find the bomb. So he lost the bomb, and that cost him the round.
Target destroyed. Operation
he couldn't find the bomb.
Return to main base.
You ever had that happen to you?
No, I usually die earlier in the game. So.
His excuse is beautiful though. My cat was on the keyboard. Okay. Oh, he's currently going 15 for 4, so he's really putting in a lot of work for Villains. John is playing it close. I think the other semi-finals is starting since the players from
as we also consider in the future, after OBT, when we see more content included into the game, I'm assuming we'll have different types
Operation
of utility,
success.
more
Return to main
nades,
base.
more smoke nades that
Recommended.
function differently, and so on. And if we do, it'd
Go,
be
man!
really nice to see the competitive scene. Uh, different nades are being used in different areas and different maps for different strats. So I think that'd be a bit interesting to see.
What kind of nades are you aiming at? Perhaps some sort of a Molotov incendiary that you sometimes see, or what type of grenades are you
Who
aiming
knows?
at?
I mean, like, nothing is set, but I mean, everything's open, right? We could definitely come up with something new that hasn't been seen in the AVA scene before. Or we could always modify and bring back some of the ones that we had in the past. We'll see.
Bring back the P-nade.
The one that sticks to you, sticky
Yeah.
bomb.
That explodes upon contact.
Charge set.
Don't bring that back. Don't do that. Oh, this is looking a lot better for the EU team. They do get the
Operation
round as
success.
well.
Return to main base.
And
Your
what I
efforts
think is
are
very
commended.
interesting to note is, look at the scores from its map. They're pretty much all close together. I mean,
Go,
the
go,
bottom
go.
frag is at 9.5. Top fragger is at 12. This is very, very close. But now we're gonna get a fight towards the kill room. Has gotten the opening frag onto my 8 in the mid time. He's got mid control now because there's nobody there left to defend it. Drone is now playing close. He's playing in a spot that Cypress used to play in. But this is a very dangerous spot for him because as soon as he falls, the round is over. So he needs to get at least 2 kills, or he needs to get 1 and then fall back. See, he gets 1. And he's gonna stay. He decides to stay. That's possible, but Goth is now going to give him backup. He got in there just in time. And now the round is still there. But they realize now that it's going to be a 2. Drone has to get a lot of kills. He does get 2 here, so this is important. So now Goth is going to rotate in. It's not going to go too quick, but Cheats might catch him off guard. They do spot him go in. 2 players are now inside there. Cheats sees a shot getting tanked. They're really careful there. And FCO is just watching in the mid, making sure that nobody can rotate. So at this point, they're just going to wait them out, because they have to make a move. Cheats gets King to EP. Now FCO is going to try and push in. They know that Goth tanked a shot, but that didn't do a lot of damage. So let's go to FCO, because he's going in for the stab. He's still waiting. He's hoping for them to rotate, but if Jeets gets the kill onto Goth, which he does now, it's kind of too late. Because now FCO is going to go in. Jeets still thinks he's coming from the connector, so he has that advantage, which he now drops. And this is not going to work for him anymore. He knows where both of the players are at. That's his good part. And T is also very low HP, so he can still do it. It's going to be very hard to come inside. And he won't be able to do so. 6-5 lead now for its map, and if they manage to close out this map, we're going to a third.
Match point.
Go, go, go!
It's a lot closer than the first map, right, Rob?
Yeah.
You always see a mid fight happening, and with those frags being made right away in mid, this should be the call for X-Man to just push the stairs. They are indeed going to try that.
Drone actually survived with literally 1 HP.
Ooh, Goth using that pixel spot to his advantage. And yeah, Drone just surviving. Not sure how King Tweaky missed that shot onto Tum. He's going to get away with at least 1 kill, but him now being low HP, the 1v4, I think we're going to a 13th and decider round. This is interesting because it's tournament live for its match.
Enemy troops eliminated.
patch out the lag for this game.
Base. Your efforts are commended.
Final round.
Teams are not too scared to speak up.
Charge!
Oh, this is going to be a very hard push into the pillar room. See, this time they're contesting it. It's going to be a 4v3, and everyone seems to be falling there. But AVCO has no bullets. AVCO really needs to watch out, but he's got bomb control. This is very, very important. They might be... Yeah, that was not clever. So he's still around here. He needs to get the kill. See, he has bomb control. But Kanzi comes from behind, so does Jeets. AVCO needs a 1v3 to win it. Gets Jeets, but not Kanzi. So a 7-6 for its man means that we are going to a third and final map. Well, this is pretty much as close as it can get. So there we have it, a 7-6 win. Whew. One player surviving two. One of the closest match you've ever seen, I guess, Rob.
Yeah, it's exciting to see a closer match. Now, what made them think that they should push out like that on the last?
Well, this is something that at least I know Hench is kind of familiar with. They're going to throw in some pressure and try to catch the team off guard. Because usually what you see with a lot of teams, they're going to play very conservative in the final round just because they don't want to ruin it. So he tries to break that by just catching the control in the pillar room. It's a really good tactic. The only unfortunate thing is that Tate was able to get like 2 or 3 kills there. And that's what threw them off. Because if they had the advantage in trades there, they would have gotten the bomb now, which they also did. But they only had 1 player surviving. If they had 2 players surviving there, they would have most likely won the round. So it was a good tactic, just a little bit unfortunate it didn't work out for them. But now we're going to see a very interesting map, Hammer Blow. This is your fanboy's favorite map, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed.
So Hammer Blow, I think we're going to see more paras being used. I assume, at least if the snipers are clever, they're all going to switch to PSG. Because the one side in Hammer Blow, as you can see in the picture, this is a point where you can shoot through the walls. You can do that with the PSG, not so much with the AWM, and you can do it with the para as well. So that is going to give teams a big advantage if they want to attack or defend, but is shooting through the wall and already dealing some damage. What Hammer Blow is also very well known for is nade spots. So we haven't really seen a lot of nade kills. I think we've seen 1 team nade kill on dual side. But we're going to see a lot more team kills now on Hammer Blow. Or team kills. Nade kills, sorry.
Team nade kills.
Let's hope we don't see those. But I think the most notorious nade kill that we've got, or have seen here ever, was a triple nade kill by Zito. Can you imagine that? A triple nade kill?
I've done a double kill, never a triple though.
I think the best I did, I managed to get a grenade ace in the old AVA, but that was 4 people. It was the entire team though, so I immediately won. So it was pretty insane. It was a different. I almost got one against me today when we were in the 4v4. Guy naded out my entire team, so he got 3 nade kills. Put me in a 1v4, and I was fortunate enough to clutch that out. So that was cool. So let's see what guns they do use. So I don't think they've really changed anything.
Charge!
No. But yeah, what we do see right off the bat, Villains is going very hard for that office. Wait. What have they done? Why is one of the players so low HP? Like, look at Tom's HP. He hasn't even gotten into a gunfight, and he's already low. What the hell?
Maybe he naded himself.
Well, they were saying something in the chat about his eye, so maybe he, like, headshotted Tom. Yeah, see, his helmet is gone, so I think someone headshotted him for fun. That's not a good way to get the game started. I think Goth just did the same, because Drone also got a little bit of damage. They seem
Maybe
to be
they're
ready
getting
to
into a fight.
Ooh, King Tweaky can't get a bullet into Tum. He's going to lock it up with a smoke. Tum really wants to come up pre-frame, but that nade from Konzi is good. You hear a call out as well, so they know there's another player around there.
Charge set.
Goth is coming from mid in the meantime. He's not going to check the bridge. Konzi's waiting on the bridge. He's giving very late backup. He's going to allow Jeets to fall. With Tay and Konzi cleaning up, it's a first clean round for its map. And that's very important, because Hammerblow is a very NRS-sided map. So normally, as a defending team, you'd like to get at least 4 rounds to have good hopes for a proper outcome. So losing the first round is not very hopeful for them. Good frag from his eyes onto Drone. Gets a second to onto God. But he has to trade out Tay. And now they've got warehouse control. So that's one big fight that they already won. And they're a player up. So nobody's going to walk into the warehouse anymore. They've got that for the rest of the round. And now they can decide, what do we want to do? So Azai's is most likely going to stay there. And you see Tump already rotating with the C4. So Konzi and Jeets are just going to walk around the map a little bit, trying to get a frag. Most likely will be Jeets who's going to do that, because he's the sniper. And as soon as he gets a frag, on whatever side that's going to be, they're going to push it. He's waiting at the double door, sees that nobody's there. At this point, they have to figure out where everyone is at from Villains. So for us, of course, it's easy to see, but for them, it's a little bit more difficult. So King Tweaky is holding a good off position. He's going to make sure that they just walk in and he catches them off guard. Maid is walking around, and that could be very dangerous, but Maid gets the kill. So now they know where one of the players are at. And given the place that he plays, I think the teams can now both, well, they can figure out that there's a player on either side. So now Maid is pushed up, and Konzi, he's going to do a pincer movement. He's going to walk right into King Tweaky. King Tweaky doesn't expect him, so Tump can just freely walk in. This is a very good move from Konzi. It's not over yet. Maid, he fills his nade there. There are a lot of nade spots that you can also get onto the bomb, but nobody has the nade for it. So we see F go walk around. Konzi's holding the door. Holding it from close, but look at that. 2 players coming in at the same time. Now it's Tum, all by himself. Gets the kill into Maid. Ooh, and a nasty shot into Afko too. It's a 2-0 lead now for its man. And they've already got their minimum amount of rounds. And we're only 2 rounds in. That's not looking good for them. Coming out. Again, looking back into one of the players in warehouse being made. Last time it was Drone, this time it's Goth falling. But Drone does immediately make the trade and falls back. So this time they're going to hold on to the warehouse control. So that's important. That's going to make this round a lot easier for Villains. King Tweaky's here playing in one side with the SA-58 para. So he's going to have that option to shoot through the walls and get some kills with that.
It's a gold para.
Yeah, it's a golden one. I actually really like how you guys did that skin. It looks really, really good. Too bad I got 3 of them. Well, Cheats gets some kills. None of them really decide to walk around yet. But look where Drone is playing at. Drone is playing in a ninja position. He might get a lot of kills. Oh, but Tump expects it. Tump expects it, and now the rotate is coming in. Tump is going through very quickly. He put the smoke down there, but the smoke is not very good. Luckily, he doesn't get caught off guard. He has to wait a little bit. Tay is coming in from behind, and he spots both of the players. Ooh, he doesn't get the frag. FCO does manage to get onto the side, but Tump is going to get the kill regardless. This is a 3-0 lead now for its man. This is looking very bad for Villains.
Go, go, go!
Now, what do you think the issue is in them losing these rounds? Is it with the picks?
A little bit. I mean, they go for the warehouse control, which is something you should do, but they're playing very, very aggressive in the warehouse. And you see, Aziz is constantly able to get a frag. This is the third round in a row that he shuts a player down. So they have to give up the warehouse. They should play a little bit more back, or have different types of players play there, so Aziz is not able to catch them off guard. Because that's costing them a lot. And now, the map control is there for its man, and making it a lot more difficult for Villains to defend it. I mean, the defensive one is good. Maid is able to hold that down. King Tweaky is playing around them. That's fine. But they're struggling at 2. And because they're losing players there, they have to divide a little bit more. And at some point, defense is just going to crumble. Ooh, that's a good frag though from Jeez. And look at that, 3 frags right away. AFCO does shut down Tum, but now they know where AFCO is. He's in a 1v3. Tay waits for him in the mid, and that's 4 straight rounds on EU.
Return to main base. Your efforts are commended.
This is very disastrous now.
Charge!
Let's see if they're going to do it a little bit different. So we still have Drone and Goth coming in. They throw the nades there. Now they're going to use a smoke, so they're going to make it more difficult for Aziz to do something. So Drone is going to play in the corner there. He's going to play up with... Oh, it doesn't matter. The pushing one side is already happening. And Konzi, Tay, and... I think Tom as well. They've already shut it down. Tom did fall to win. But Tay is going to jump up and get an angle on the base. So Goth will manage to get inside. But he already knows he's dead. No chance for him to survive that. And that's 5 rounds straight. I think we're looking at the team that's going to take on Crackheads. And we see that round.
Charge!
So one of the players has DC'd. So they're going back to the lobby. Yeah, this is something you see very commonly. If you have a dead round, players start to knife each other.
Operation success. Return to the base.
Now, can players just for the sake of changing their weapons or utilities set?
What do you mean? They just have one slot that they can use for now. So unless they like go out of the game, they will have to play with that same loadout. So that's kind of a thing which I also noted in the video that I made. It's limiting the competitive plays for now because teams only have one loadout slot. And if you really want to drastically change it, you either have to play a different class or you need to call in a dead round to change your weapons. So utility. So that is something that we do see here now as well, because if we had 2 loadout slots, I think a lot of people would use a para and a second loadout slot just because it can be very good here on Hammer Blow. Oh, we have a swap actually coming in. Already heard that C was gonna come in for what's it again? I'm not very good with names. For Goth. Oh, okay, for Goth. I don't think that was planned. I think it was planned for AFCO. He's coming in for Goth. So, C-Wasp, a little bit of background on him. Player from the Netherlands. Used to play with Gomeam back in 2015. But he's a very good player coming from Soldier Front 2, where he's earned at least a couple of $1,000 in the Go 4 tournaments there. So, he's one of the better players from there. But originally an AVA player, and of course now with a new AVA, he has returned to come and play here. So this might...
So I'll keep an eye on him then.
Well, you can pretty much keep an eye on everyone. I mean, if you look at teams that have LAN experience from AVA, there's none of them in there. But yeah, LAN experience in total. I know CWASP has gone to SF2 LANs.
So are you calling them all online?
There weren't really a lot of LANs for AVA, at least for our region. So you had some in like the 2009, 2010 areas for, at least for NA, because Inc. went to such LANs. Or if you're a national player, you could have gone to an IESF where some more nations have gone to, such as Canada has gone there, Sweden has gone there, Finland, and Romania, because it was hosted there in 2013. The US as well, the only tournament that a Western team was able to win in AVA. That was in 2010 with Skadoodle and Snow Shovel. Maybe Azaias has actually gone land, but I'm not sure. If so, that would have been with Team Sweden in either 2011 or 2013. It could be. I'm not entirely sure. So maybe we can get some more lands for this AVA, Rob. Then we will have some lanners, at least from these players. Because they're definitely capable of getting into those final slots.
No, that India match was really cool.
Yeah, the India match was super close, super tense. Ended with only one player alive in that final round. And at this point, a 5-0 lead for its MAM. They're also on the EU side. Honestly, I would be very, very surprised if Villains can turn this around. But it will be very difficult for them. What do you think?
I mean, I've seen crazy stuff happen, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Hope that they put up a good fight.
Well, let's find out now. See if any of the players have switched guns. Sometimes you do see that happening. But yeah, with everyone pretty much having their pistol out, I can't really see it. Curious to see what C-Wasp was going to use. I'm not sure what he plays. Maybe the M16? Nah, he's got the AK-47. Okay, makes sense. So Goth and Azai's are fighting. See, they again are fighting over the warehouse, but now Goth is able to get 2 kills before Azai's is trading them out. And with Mae now shutting Azai's down, this is a good round for them, and it's very likely they're going to take it. But King Tweaky's being very aggressive, way too aggressive, and he gives up one side. So now Jeets is to collect the bomb, and he can just walk all over via the base and walk into one side. So this was a big mistake from King Tweaky. But they know where Jeets is. Oh, Jeets! Why are you contesting this? He picks up a rifle. But if Jeets dies here, it's round over. So now Konzi has to walk around. Nah, he's folding. He's gonna get the bomb down. So it's now going to be a 2v2 retake. Maed is lit. Konzi's going to get a high angle, so he's going to watch the behind. Look at the spot that he is in. Isn't that beautiful? He's going
So
to
now it's currently 5. Is it 5-0 NR?
Yeah, it's 5-0 already. Konzi's going to get the kill on Maed. Now C-Wasp has to walk in. He does get 1 kill. It doesn't take too much damage. He knows where Konzi is. Doesn't have much time. Ooh, he's going to rush in, and Konzi's still going to get that 6 rounds straight on EU. I'm not sure if I've even seen this before. A team getting 6 rounds on EU. So now the teams have to leave because they have to switch sides.
Mission accomplished. Return to the base.
Yeah, at this point, only 1 round is needed for them. So this is pretty much the most disastrous half that you could possibly have. Losing 6-0 on NRF.
So I guess that all stemmed from the numerous rounds where they tried to go overly aggressive on the web.
Not necessarily overly aggressive. I mean, it's good to play very aggressive into the warehouse, so they did that well. The thing that they didn't do too great is the way they held it, because they weren't able to hold it. I think there was like 1 round where they were actually able to hold it. Now in this last round as well, they got Goth spray down 2 players, so that is still fairly a success. But it was still the 2v2 trade in that last round as well. So they were playing perhaps a little bit too far up, not holding the correct angles. And what its MAM really did well there is they just took their time, didn't push in too fast, and just looked up where the appointments were going, shutting down one of the appointments and then moving in. So it was much more easier for them to take control of warehouse. And yeah, if you get a couple of frags with that, you have a very big advantage of winning the round 2, and that's what they did. Although in all fairness, the one round that they actually did control the warehouse well was the round where 3 players from Itzmam just pushed straight into one side. With only 1 player defending it there, they weren't able to hold that either. So it's been a very, very tough half for them. And I think the defense was just not quite there. And you saw Itzmam taking full advantage of it. It's crazy, though, to see how these games are going, isn't it, Rob? I mean, the first match, very convincingly, 7-2 on dual side for Villains. The second map, super, super close, a 7-6 win for Itzmam. And now it's a 6-0 lead for Itzmam, again being quite one-sided. It's crazy how a map can change that, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, did Itzmam have previous experience playing against Crack?
Well,
I think from Cup 3, right?
Villains is not. Itzmam has experience from that in Cup 1. I think they lost 7-2 and 7-3 in the Grand Finals. But you see, we're now still going to see a warehouse control. Look what they do different. They throw out a nade, they lit out drone, and they're now just going to give it up. They realize, okay, the opposing team is there too quick, you can't contest it. And Tay plays a little bit back, and he's still going to get the opening frag. Now, this is fine. They do lose any players. They do give up the warehouse, but in return, they get a kill. They actually get 2 now with Tay. So, this is perfect for them. They just played more conservatively, and they're not going to take chances. And see, Goth is already calling the GG. He knows it's very unlikely for them to still get the round. So unless they manage to catch Itzmam off guard, perhaps at one side, they're not going to win it. And Siebel has passed that control. But he now pushes out. And King Tweaky is under pressure. He does get a kill on Konzi. Yeah, now one side is properly defended. So this is going to be very tough to come in. Temp already jumping around. Spots both of the players. He's going to get back up now, and that is it. Tay and Tump rounded off.
That
It's a
is
7
GG.
win. And that's a GG indeed. So with that, we will find Itzmam in the semi-finals, coming out against Crackhead.